Hey toy fans, I'm D21Beast and welcome back to my figure review series here on my YouTube channel. And today we're taking another look at those Marvel Superhero Masters figures. This time we've got Pyro, released by Hasbro in 2014. And I've got to admit, I'm very surprised to see this figure make it to market. Pyro's not a very popular character these days. He's been dead for several years, he's a villain, and he's from the X-Men universe. All those factors combined typically is going to mean that Hasbro is going to look you over when they're deciding on what new toys to release, especially if Disney has anything to say about it. So I'm very surprised to see this guy, but I'm also very happy that Hasbro's chosen to release him. I can't wait to get this guy out of the box, but let's start by taking a look at that packaging. As you come down the front of the box, you do have a window box packaging that does house the Pyro figure inside, as well as his accessories. You have the figure's name off to the right, and on the left-hand side you do have an example of a mashed-up superhero, as well as the Superhero Masters logo towards the bottom. Flipping this package around now, as you come down the back of the box, you once again have that Marvel Superhero Masters logo. You have an image of Pyro mashed together with other superheroes, and then he's saying, "When Electro gave me his arm, I was shocked." And then on the right-hand side of the box, you do have a complete lineup of all the other figures available in this wave. Alright guys, well that's the packaging. Let's say we get Pyro out of the box and see what this guy is all about. Alright toy fans, here we have Pyro out of the box, and this figure looks really cool. One thing that's new to Wave 4 are these translucent accessories that you see here on the Pyro figure. In the past we've gotten accessories to just plug onto the figure or stick in the hands, but with Wave 4, with Electro, with Pyro, with all the figures that have come out, they have these translucent plastic pieces that just kind of replace the regular forearm pieces. Let's go ahead and look at the sculpting and paintwork on this guy. We can see here that Pyro does have sort of a slick back hairstyle that's been painted and sculpted pretty nicely in its simplicity. He's got a mask on his face that's been kind of sculpted in this red plastic, and then they've painted on the flesh for the chin and the nose. His eyes, unfortunately, are a little sloppy, as you can see there. It looks like, especially on the right side here, their second coat of paint was just completely off. It's not terrible, it doesn't look too bad from far away, but it is kind of a minor annoyance. Also, there's a little bit of paint chipping here on the nose where you see kind of a red line coming down, but again, nothing major, you don't see it from a distance. As we come down here, we're going to see that this Pyro figure does have sort of the bigger body mold, much like we saw with the Masters Wolverine figure that you can see here. Just kind of a wider torso and wider shoulders, different from, say, the Deadpool figure that I've already reviewed that has a more slender body style, which is also what we saw with Iceman and Green Goblin. And what we're going to see here is that they did kind of mold it in a lighter color orange and then painted a darker color orange on top. And then as we come down the figure here, you're going to see that he once again doesn't have the ankle articulation like we've seen with a lot of the more recent Masters figures, but they did sculpt actual flame detail on his boots, so I do like that touch there. As you flip the figure around, you're going to see that same sort of paint and styling all the way up the back, and this figure has all the notches on him, just like Masters figures do, so you can plug in accessories if you do have them. Now, his hand accessory here does actually hold accessories, which is nice, but it is that translucent plastic and it is hollow underneath. On the other side here, though, we've got a very strange accessory. Pyro has the ability to mold fire. That's kind of his mutant ability. He doesn't start fire, but he can mold the fire with his will anytime he's in the presence of it. And it looks like this particular Pyro has decided to mold a face. I don't know if that's coming through on my camera there. So he just has this sort of scary face coming off of one of his arms, which is kind of cool and kind of strange at the same time. Pyro doesn't have any extra accessories, so let's move on to articulation. He has a head joint that'll move down that far and up that far, and it does rotate all the way around. He's got a shoulder joint that'll rotate all the way around and bend out from the body and up about that far. He's got a single jointed elbow that does bend down about that far and back that far, and it does rotate all the way around. He's got that same articulation here on the other side. He does not have any ab crunch or waist swivel. He's got a ball jointed hip that moves forward that far, it moves back that far, it moves out from the body that far, and then he has a single jointed knee that does bend down that far and forward that far. It does rotate all the way around. And as I previously mentioned, there is no ankle articulation on these newer Masters figures. Alright toy fans, if you're watching this review and you still don't get what Masters are about, let me go ahead and show you. Here we have Iceman, Deadpool, Wolverine, and Green Goblin, and what we can do with this Pyro figure is disconnect the figure at all of his joints, pull off the head, the arms, the legs. Basically everywhere there's a joint on this guy except the shoulders, these Master figures come apart. And let's go ahead and give Masters Pyro Green Goblin's head. We're just going to plug it on just like this. And I think it'd be really cool if he had Wolverine's claw, so let's go ahead and pop that onto that side. But then I also want to give him Iceman's fist, so we'll pop it onto that side. And I think it'd be pretty cool if he had Deadpool's throwing star holsters, so we're going to go ahead and pop those onto the figure. And then I think it'd be pretty cool if he still had one Pyro boot, and maybe we'd want to go ahead and give him another Green Goblin leg. So let's go ahead and pop that on. And now we've got a mashed up superhero. The possibilities are truly endless. This toy line is really great if you got a wild imagination. And of course, the more figures you have, the more options you're going to have to mix and connect. Height-wise, we can see that Masters Pyro does stand at just under 6.5 inches tall. For some size comparison, here we have Mashers Pyro compared to Mashers Wolverine, Mashers Deadpool, Mashers Iceman, and Mashers Green Goblin, all from this same toy line. Here's Mashers Pyro compared to Pyro from the Marvel Legends toy line. And finally, here we have Mashers Pyro compared to the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Wolverine. You smell something burning, bub? Aye, that's kind of my gig, mate. Alright, toy fans, well that's my review of the Marvel Superhero Mashers Pyro figure released by Hasbro in 2014. Overall, this is a really great figure, and I love that we're getting more X-Men from this toy line. My one regret about this figure, and really Mashers moving forward, is that with each wave, Hasbro seems to be dropping the quality just a little bit. Last wave, we lost the ankle articulation. This wave, we seem to be getting a little bit of spotty paintwork. I hope that this isn't a trend that continues to decline as the figure line moves on, but I would love to see more X-Men figures released if Hasbro is willing to do it. I definitely encourage you guys to go out and pick up Pyro. He's a really great character, and he looks great with the rest of your X-Men figures if you've got him. Well, that's my review, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked what you saw, and if you did, please feel free to rate, share, and subscribe. Also, be sure to hit me up on Twitter at D21Beast. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.